恐竜戦隊 Zyuranger!
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 32 of my Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger episode commentary and review series. This time, it's Geki, Kill Your Tears. Let's watch the episode. The episode opens in some woods as Geki searches for his brother Barai as some flute music plays. Geki finds Barai under a tree playing the flute, but as he approaches he's knocked back as they end up in a dark space and he's attacked by golems. While Barai is blocked from helping, and when he tries, the golems blow out green candles, causing him to writhe in pain as Bandora shows up and blows out another, causing Barai to collapse as Geki wakes up. Elsewhere, a young girl gets herself a late night drink, but something comes out of the tap and takes her away. The next day, a woman is also attacked by something, but the Rangers quickly save her. The Rangers are attacked by the root, and Geki runs towards it, transforming as he goes, but is quickly ensnared. He's trying to end the battle before his brother has to come out. The others free him, but Geki is left gasping on the ground. The roots belong to Dora Narcissus, and it feeds on beautiful people and will soon be grown enough to move around. Following Goosh's hunch, the Rangers ride to the centre of all the incidents. At the botanical laboratory, a young woman finds the monster, but the Rangers arrive and Goosh frees her. Geki says he will finish the plant off, but Bandora's voice can be heard saying the plant can give life to anything. To demonstrate, she kills some flowers before they're revived. Goosh urges Geki to cut the monster in half, and Geki raises his sword but freezes. Dan says if Geki won't, then he will, and charges in with his Triceralance, but Geki stops him, grabbing the blade with his bare hands. He staggers away and collapses as the plant begins to grow, turning into a plant man monster who was born to be beautiful before disappearing. As Goosh says the monster must be destroyed, Geki runs off. Dora Narcissus begins attacking beautiful people, absorbing them into himself for more power as Geki runs, haunted by images of Bandora and Goosh. He sees people running in terror and he goes to attack, but stops as the monster mentions Barai. He barely defends himself as Dora Narcissus attacks him, until it takes a hit from a sword, thrown by a black knight that appears, saying it will finish Geki off. Jumping down, it begins to attack Geki, matching each other blow for blow. But outnumbered, Geki is beaten down. Before Narcissus can finish off Geki, the knight stops it again, saying right now, Geki couldn't even beat a golem, and Narcissus doesn't need to dirty his hands with him. As Geki stands, the knight manages to take his dino buckler, saying he doesn't need it anymore. Continuing their fight, the knight pins Geki, but Narcissus says it's taking too long and starts to feed on the knight, who tells Geki he doesn't care about the fight or his friends, just finding peace for his own brother. As the knight cuts the root holding him, he attacks Geki again, who denies the claims, saying his happiness is defeating Bandora and saving his brother, as he launches an attack on the knight. And as the armour breaks open, it turns out to be Goosh, who collapses to the ground. Dora Narcissus grows and attacks the pair, but the ground splits open and up rises Daijujin with the other rangers inside, holding the two rangers in his hand. Declaring he won't forgive Bandora, Geki transforms and enters Daijujin with the unconscious Goosh. They fight, and as Daijujin receives a blast, Goosh wakes up and tells Geki that Dora Narcissus' weakness is the mirror. Calling for Godhorn, they free Daijujin, and Dora Narcissus is distracted by its reflection in a building, as the Rangers use super legendary lightning cut to destroy the monster. Later, watching the sunset, Geki vows to save his brother as the other Rangers approach him. Okay, so that was a bit of an emotional rollercoaster of an episode there. So obviously following on from the last episode, we already knew, but everyone else now knows that Geki has limited time. Sorry, not Geki, Barai has limited time. And because of this, his brother, Geki, he never knew he had a brother, and then he finds out, wait, you're actually my brother. I want to spend time with you. You're never around. Why are you never around? Oh my god, you've got 20 hours to live, or whatever it is. Which, every time you come and help us, you're dying. And, that's gotta hit hard. So, he spends this episode basically risking himself, rushing in, trying to finish off the Dora monsters before it gets to the point where Dragon Caesar's needed, which would mean Barai would be needed. All he's thinking about is trying to give his brother as much time as possible. I mean, it's got to be pretty boring in that timeless room. I mean, he's just got a bunch of candles and his flute. And if you play the wrong tune on the flute, then you end up calling like Dragon Caesar. So I can, and obviously Bandora is then using it against Geki. Because she's like, oh yeah, by the way, look, I can kill these flowers and my monster will bring them back to life. My monster has the power of life and death. And obviously, it's mostly going to use it for death because, Pandora's evil. But, you got to ask, why would she ever... In fact, Geki has to ask himself, why would they ever go, okay, yeah, we'll let Barai live. We'll give Barai life. Even Clotho has turned around and said, he's got 15 hours. That's it. He cannot have any more. And that's from the god of time or life or whatever Clotho is. So, yeah, there's... Geki is really being manipulated in this. But we also get to see the strength of character of Goosh. Because he's the one that, obviously unknown to us during the episode, becomes the Black Knight and is willing to fight Geki to push him, to the extreme. He's doing everything he can to bring him back. I mean, he cuts his hands on Dan's Triceralance, stopping them from defeating the monster before it becomes an issue, just because there's a chance it can save his brother. And, that's dedication to his brother. A brother that he never knew. But, it can be that when you meet a sibling that you didn't know about, you can want to be as close as possible, want to get to know them and all the rest of it, because they're family. And considering the rest of their families died off 170 million years ago, Geki's the only one with any family left. So, yeah, it's kind of It's sad. It's very sad. It's a lot worse than oh no, Green Ranger's losing his power. This is oh no, Green Ranger's losing his life. Um, you know, Definitely a bit more hard hitting because let's face it. I mean, Tommy came back and came back and came back and came back and yeah. So yeah, just with this sword hanging over their heads of what's gonna happen, and obviously he's gonna be gone in let's see how many 32 10 episodes. So yeah, it's a sad time, but you know Geki is doing what he can, and I like that. It is not oh well that was last week. This week we're just doing like episode. All of Zyuranger is tying in with all of Zyuranger for the most part, and yeah, I I think this show just went from strength to strength for the most part. I mean, we've literally just had that like 4 episode bit that felt like a mid-season movie, and that's before they did like summer movies and all the rest of it for Sentai. So, but yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. Next week it's episode 33. Teach Me the Jewel of Bravery, which I think is a Dan episode, if I remember right. So we will cover that one next time. Until then, take care. Bye.